that was a lot packed in that episode. It was like a lot of highs and lows. BTS Monuments episode 2. We took notes,
yes,
and so I'm gonna just go over some things, man, that really just stood out to me. And first and foremost, they open on a high note. I mean, we're talking about them performing at the Olympic arena, right? It was basically like the milestone. It was the pinnacle for idols,
yes,
right?
Yes.
You know, and BTS had made there, and RM was like, yeah, we got first place in the award and everything, but like this right here is what we're working towards. It kind of reminded me of something that Beyonce said at one point in her career when she was asked, okay, who's your model? Like, who do you model yourself after? And she said, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is the blueprint. In fact, Michael Jackson is the blueprint for all of us, as in a pop artist. Michael Jackson is who we aspire to be to. That is the pinnacle. That's where we want to get to. So that's what it kind of reminded me of when he said that. I mean, and since we're on the subject of idol goals, J-Hope was like, artist equals concerts, and I liked your perspective on that as an artist.
Yes.
Where it's like basically like that is almost like your reward, and you should want to take that opportunity to connect with the fans that made you who you are, right?
Yes.
You should want to be in the presence of them to feel that energy, that love energy, right? That otherwise you're not going to be able to get a chance to do so. You know, so yeah, that was good.
During that time, you can see and feel and hear and like just connect with the love that they was really putting out.
Yeah.
For us to be happy and one with them at the time. You know, so shout out to, you know, everybody who's been to a concert. Shout out to everybody who just had to watch. You know, I get it. It's, you know, times be hard.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But I have to say, for the ones who was able to make it to the concert, man, y'all, I know y'all agree when you say it's something special about being in that arena or wherever you are, stadium.
Yeah.
You know, it's this feeling that you get that, like, the whole time you're there, you just don't want it to end.
Yeah.
You just don't want it to end.
It goes by so fast, don't it?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, bro. And it was like being in a completely different world. It's like when you're at a BTS concert, the outside world, it no longer exists. Like, you're in this pocket dimension of complete, like, bliss and just overwhelming emotions and just revelations that take place. And, you know, we make it sound like it's some fantastical world, but it kind of really is. Like, forget all your cares. It's like Fraggle Rock. You know, dance your cares away.
Yeah.
Worries for another day. Let the music play. BTS is on the stage. You heard me? And, you know, so it's just, it was completely different. And so, yeah, man. So, facts, bro. So, that, I mean, those were some of the highs. Now, let's talk about some of the low points. Do you want to get into that? You got another high?
Yeah, I had a question.
Okay, smoke that past that.
Okay, so I was looking at smoke that past. I was looking at when they was talking about during the concerts part, right? And they said this was the official first concert.
Yeah, the Red Bullet.
The Red Bullet.
Yep.
Yeah. So my question is, how many people have to be in attendance to make it your first official concert?
I don't know. I don't know. Why do you ask this?
Because I always thought their first official concert was when they was like looked like they was performing in the House of Blues.
Oh,
you know,
back in the days of American Hustle Live and stuff like that.
I don't know. I just thought like, hey, you know, that's where you start, baby.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a question for me. Like, how many? Like, does it have to be part of a tour? Yeah. Like, you know?
I don't think it has to be a part of a tour, but I think it has to be like a certain number of people, maybe something like that. But I'm not sure. We can look that up. That is a good question. I'm not sure, man. Now, some of the lows that did occur during this episode that really hit us was the criticism that they were talking about, and then RM talking about as far as like him having a fear of criticism, like how transparent can he really be? And he was talking about this during the time when they were speaking about the song 2-3, just basically a song for Army, and kind of just I guess coming together to kind of let go of all of the things that had happened within BTS and the fandom, and as far as the things that happened would be the unfair treatment that they did receive, the rumors that were going around about BTS, and just all of this just hate that was going on. And of course, if BTS suffers it, Army suffers it as well. And Suga was like, yeah, it was hard, but we gotta let that stuff go, you know, at the end of the day.
And during that moment, it stood out to me that when Jimin said he looked down while he was performing that song, and he saw one of the fans crying, so he started crying.
Yeah.
And I just it hit me immediately, like, and this is something I want to put out there: crying because of your fans cry equals connection.
Facts.
And that's a very strong connection. You know, being excited and sometimes just getting a rush because you could be tired.
Yeah.
You could be exhausted.
Yeah.
But you hear them screams and all of a sudden you wake up. That equals connection. Like that's how connected they are with Army, with us.
Yeah.
You know, and to me that's an amazing thing, and I hope they always continue to have that same feeling and keep that same connection, you know, throughout the rest of their careers. Because you can definitely feel it. You can definitely tell.
Yeah. So. Yeah, for sure, my bro. And then we go into the Takeover, the U.S. Takeover. You know, they hit the Billboard Awards. They got the top social artists. Didn't really even know what that was, but they were very happy to receive it. Right. And then one thing led to another, and they're hitting this award show, that award show, and they were just really shocked by all of the love that they were receiving in the U.S. They just, you know, you don't know how big you are until you're right there in the midst of everything physically, right? You know, and so yeah, they really understood, I believe, after that how big they have really gotten around the world. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely. I'm pretty sure they were in shock knowing that. Oh, hey man, that looks like they got my face on that picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't got my face on that picture.
And then
we out here.
Yeah.
We out here.
And then, you know, hearing their names being called, you know, like, hey, Jimin, Taeyeon, Suga, Jin, you know, yeah,
Then immediately we had to get to the part of being criticized because of your success. And being criticized because you're sincere.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I wrote this down.
Okay, talk that talk.
But only reason why I'm reading it because I want to make sure I said it where I wrote it.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
But I said, the fear of being a real artist revealed the true nature of a fan.
Okay. Expound. Because
at the end of the day, most fans want you to be real. Is one of the biggest things that you hear from fans. They want you to, you know, be yourself.
Yeah.
Be real. Tell the truth. Tell us how you feel. And then, like you was talking about with RM, I'm being myself. I'm being a human being just like the rest of y'all.
Yeah.
And I'm getting criticized for it.
For sharing music that I love.
But this is because you asked me to be this. You wanted to see this from me. Yep. And I'm sharing this with you.
And then it ain't good enough.
And it's not good enough. So what was your true nature?
Yeah.
You know, is this who you really are? Is this because if this what you really wanted from me?
Yeah.
And now you're criticizing me for it. Now you automatically put me in a place where I fear to be myself.
I would say within this fandom, there is the 90% that stands with BTS from an individual perspective and collectively, no matter what. Like there's those of us, like The guys, they can share whatever they want. They can tell us whatever they want to, whatever's on their heart. And if it's something that we can't relate to, I'm not gonna judge them for it, right? If any of them shares any music that I'm like, that's doo-doo garbage, I'm not gonna bash them for it. Like a lot of people like music that I don't like. Like they're no different than any other human being. Let them be human, right? So it's like when you love someone, you're not overly critical of that person. When you love someone, you love all aspects of them, even the parts and the things that you don't know about them, and they're yet to be revealed to you. Okay, so like it is what it is when it comes to that, and I feel like those of us who are part of that 90%, we just have to be more vocal, because a lot of times we don't say enough, and we kind of just let this little 5-10% just run wild and just talk trash, because at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of us have a little fear of backlash ourselves, right? But let there not be fear on social media and the internet, because social media and internet is nothing but a construct. It is what you make it. It ain't the real world, okay? So never be scared to stand up for what is right, no matter what that looks like, and no matter what the repercussions may come upon you. So let's talk about Bang PD really quick. I just want to give him a shout out, a final shout out, because this man does not deserve some of the criticism that he gets on the internet at all. He's an exceptional leader. He's been proving that time and time again. BTS has been telling us that time and time again. A lot of people aren't listening to that. But in this episode, I loved how he was putting BTS first, putting their happiness first above the business. He was like, you know, the artist's happiness is way more important than the success of the business, because without the artist's happiness, there is no success in the business, basically. You feel what I'm saying? So putting people first is what great leaders do. And anyone that does not put people first in business is not a leader. They're not even not a great leader. They're just not a leader, period. So Bang PD is an exceptional leader. So I definitely want to give him another shout out on that. And then last but not least, this episode ended on a heartbreaking note. Because they were talking about the contract renewals, and I wrote some things down that were some I was gonna say highlights, but this is some lowlights here.
Well,
yeah.
Before you get right to that part, I just want to say that watching them get fully exhausted.
Oh, that was tough. Oh yeah,
Like just being tired, saying I don't know if I can get used to this, stuff like that, man. I did write down something Sugar said, or real quick. JK, Sugar. Oh no, JK said it felt like we was running without a destination.
Yep.
I thought that was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was one of the bullets I had too.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. That's one less I gotta do.
Running without a destination is you're running in place.
Yeah.
You running in place. Like, they had directions for certain things. At this point, if they started to feel like that, it was almost like we're doing this music and we're losing our direction on where we was going, you know. And that was a sad thing to see and hear. Please know, fame can be overwhelming.
So the physical anguish that they were going through, the mental anguish, they were having the thoughts of quitting. Like, it was time for the contract renewal, and their apprehension had nothing to do with the business at all. And it have a lot to do with a lot of things you would think it had to do with. It had to do with the things like you were talking about that you wouldn't know unless you're in that world. And so the physical anguish, the mental anguish, overwhelming pressure, the burnout, it was just like they were literally just going, and they just had no time to themselves. They really didn't have any time for any real break. Sugar said this: it felt like we packed 20 years of experience in like 6 years. Bro, when he said that, it put a lot into perspective for me as a fan of this group, because you've seen it in many documentaries, like some of those clips that we saw like, I believe, in Burn the Stage and Break the Silence and things like that, right? Them going through the tough physical times that come with being a top level performer like that. And then also, you know that they've been working so hard, but when he put it like that, it just added the weight to it. Like, I could almost feel the mental weight that comes with that, let alone the physical pain and pressure and weight that comes with that. So yeah, at that point in time, it's like, do we still really want to do this? Like, that's a reasonable question. Yeah. You feel me? Because the pros are, yeah, we have this fan base, army, we love dearly. We love spending time with them. We love creating music for them. We love creating music, right? But everything else that goes with that, to be that successful, man, the pressure bust pipes. Pressure bust pipes, and BTS almost busted, bruh. And that's how they ended this episode. Of course, we know the story has a happy ending, but I'm very much anticipating episode 3 to see where this goes next and how it's going to be constructed from a storytelling perspective. This is really good. Thank you guys for checking out this review of episode 2. Like the video if you do like stuff like this, and we will continue to post this on the YouTube. And if you want to see our full reaction to this episode and all the episodes of BTS Monuments,
all of them,
where they gotta go, Blaze?
You gotta go to Patreon and check it out.
Yep.
I'm telling y'all, y'all don't know what y'all missing.
Links in the description. It's only $5 per month. It helps this channel. It helps us to continue to put out videos like this. What you guys say? Peace, y'all.